My birthday, 4/22/30.
And what's your name?
My name is Albert Hutton.
Okay.
I'm just a few days away from 90 years old.
All right. What do you know about your parents' childhood?
They were babies.
Were they poor growing up?
Were they
Poor?
a whore? Yeah. What do you mean?
Were your parents poor growing up?
No, my dad worked right through the Depression. He worked for the light company, the Duquesne Light. At one time for a week, he was making $18. But it was one of the better jobs around. And all of his relatives, a lot of his relatives worked there. His cousins and stuff, his brother-in-law, stuff like that.
What's your earliest memory?
I was about 6 years old. And I remember when they told me my sister died.
Oh, wow. That's a sad one.
She died of pneumonia.
How old was your sister when she died?
About 6 weeks old. Very young like that.
How long did you go to school?
I went to the 10th grade. I never liked school.
How did you get to school?
I walked, mostly. I walked to school. I had to walk from about a half a mile to the one school. Another one I took a bus, a Banford bus. And I went there to South High. I went to Knoxville. I went to Allen. And that's about it, I guess.
What were your brothers and sisters like when they were little?
I don't remember them when they were little so much. They were all older than me. So I only remember them as older. When someone's older than you think they're real old. I never knew them when they were young.
So growing up, were you close with them even though they were older than you?
Very close. To about three of them. The other ones, we did things together. We were a pretty close family.
Who were the three that you were close with?
Rob and Jack and Plank.
Who was the best president in your lifetime and why?
Well, the only president I was really interested in is the one we got now, Trump. And he's the one I was really into. Thought he was pretty good. I think he's the best.
Who was the first president you voted for?
Bush, I think.
President Bush. Okay. How did you meet your wife?
Driving. I was driving along and met her on a corner. I started to go with her. She lived by me.
Where did you live at that time?
I lived over in the project, the St. Clair project. And I lived in a little old house over there too.
What was the first movie you saw in a theater?
Hopalong Cassidy, a cowboy picture. That would probably been the first one. I've seen a few of the old cowboy pictures. Used to go on Saturday for like 25 cents.
What's your favorite movie now?
Treasure of Sierra Madre. It's about treasure hunters. Humphrey Bogart. And that was a pretty good movie. There was a few of them, but that was a good one.
What did you and your friends like to do when you hung out?
Played ball. Mostly played ball and stuff and worked around the house. Did different things like that. Took hikes. We'd take a hike every Saturday or something, about 10 miles each way maybe.
What was your first job?
My first job was painting. I was 14 years old and contracted painting the houses, some houses. That's how I started.
How did you get that job at 14?
They were neighbors. Fisher. Their name was Fisher. And it was on Pfister Street.
How did you learn how to paint?
By doing it. By painting.
Were your parents religious?
A bit. Not very, but a bit. My mom was Catholic. My dad wasn't. He was just Protestant.
Did you go to church growing up?
I started the church when I was baptized at about 6 or 7. I went to church and I was baptized when I was like 12. I went to church then for a couple of years to be baptized. You had to go for 2 years.
When did you get saved?
I was pretty old. I think after Laura died. I think it's really when I got interested in it.
Did you get in trouble when you were younger?
Not really. We worked all the time. We didn't get in very, very bad trouble anyway. You know, we never got stealing or anything like that.
Did you get Christmas presents?
Oh yeah, Christmas. Yeah,
What toy can you remember?
bike. My brother took it for a ride. He took the bike for a ride, and we were all waiting to get on. When you got a Christmas present then, when I was young, it was might have been for 3 people or something. So he took his ride on it. He crashed it into a wall, bent the fork, and broke the bike. So me and my other brother went down and got him, and carried the bike home. And my mom asking me, "Where's he at?" "Oh, he's laying down there. He ran into a wall." And we had to go down and get him. We were mad at him. Our bike was ruined.
How did you get into scuba diving?
Sea hunt. I was watching Sea Hunt for treasure. You could look for treasure, but all I did was lose stuff. And lost and never found it again. Knife, stuff like that there.
Did you ever find anything interesting?
No.
Did you get to go on a honeymoon?
No, I never got to go on the honeymoon. It wasn't real famous then.
What was life like when you had a lot of little kids at home?
Fun.
Did you play any sports?
We always played on our own. We didn't have sponsors or everything, but we played on our own, like we had our own team. We fixed up our own field and did all that there by ourselves. And that was about that there, you know, our sports. And I used to swim a lot. And that was a big thing. Playing ball, swimming, painting, working was a pretty big thing and that was almost everybody. Wasn't too many people just sit around.
Were you any good at sports?
I was pretty good, but I didn't get into it with the deals like from school and stuff. But I was good at sports. My weight was good and everything.
What is your greatest accomplishment?
Kids, family. I have a million grandkids. Pretty much.
What did you like about Grandma Laura?
I like being married. We got pretty close to doing things together, going to the cabin together, going to the movies together. We did everything together.
What was your wedding like?
Cheap. That's it.
Where'd
Cheap.
you guys get married?
We got married at a church next Elster Street. Evangelical church.
Did family come?
No.
So it was just the two of you?
There's more than two. Her aunt was there. Her Aunt Grace.
What is one of the biggest things you've had to overcome?
Patience. I'm not very patient.
So that's one you're still working on, huh?
Yeah, still working on that one.
What is the best thing you ever ate?
Best thing. Mashed potatoes.
What's the best invention in the last 90 years?
There's so many of them. Scubas. Snowmobiles, you know. That's a pretty good invention, I guess.
The snowmobile?
Yeah. We used to go up to cabin and there was a lot of snow up there. There was a lot of riding up there. And I remember that be riding and roll off and in the deep snow, and it was kind of fun.
Did war ever affect our family?
4 of my brothers went to war. They all come back.
Were they in?
They were in a pretty bad fight, and some of them, 2 of them in the Navy and 2 of them in the Army. One fighting on the tanks, on the German Tiger tanks.
Did they sign up voluntarily, or were they?
They were drafted.
They were drafted. Okay.
And they were in, some of them were in for like 4 years, 5 years. Some of them for less, but they were in for a few years each.
When they came back, did they seem different, or were they?
Much different, and half took them almost. It was, they worried a lot, and it was kind of nervous and stuff. Airplanes crashing. He was on his boat in the Navy, and Japanese planes crashing into it and stuff. So he was pretty nervous. But they all said it was an experience, one they didn't want no more.
Were you poor while raising 7 kids?
A little bit. We went through it. It was worse things than that for a while, but we ended up doing all right.
When you had your kids, you told me once that you always had a car, even when the kids were young.
We always had a house and a car.
Yeah.
Yeah, we always had a house and a car, and I could put them together with my eyes closed, so I could keep them running. I didn't need no money to fix them and that, just to buy the part, and you used to get the parts at the junkyard. I was friends with the junkyard man, so I got some pretty good deals.
Where would you work on the cars at?
Different places in the street and in front of the house, and sometimes out of garage. Through the years.
All right.
I think my first car was a 49 Chevy. That was the first one. But I used to ride around a lot in a Model A Ford that belonged to somebody else. But I'd ride around with that. It was a 1930 Ford.
Do you remember how much you paid for your first car?
Probably about $60 or something, because I'd fix them up. I'd get them broke down and fix them up.
All right. Which kid is your favorite?
That's not a good question.
How about your grandkids? Which grandkid is your favorite?
No, I don't want no favorites. I can't do that.
Just say Heather so I can end the video.